I can't believe I had to smash this plate after working on it for hours. Hi, I'm Shelby and I'm currently doing a somewhat of a mini series of creating these little animals in bed plates. I first started this series when I was uncovering what was inside all of these plate molds, and I had this goofy idea to recreate this viral plate, and my creation of the video actually went viral and is currently sitting on like over 5 million views, which is just like absolutely bonkers. Here is a look at the first one I created, which was a koala paying homage to my home country of Australia. And today I am making a new animal, which you may have seen a little bit of a sneak peek to. So I'm pouring up the same plate, which is this gorgeous Grecian style frilly plate. So first up, when I pull it out of the mold, I've got to trim it all up and I smooth out the base, because you want to smooth out the base because once you've got the sculptural stuff on it, it's really hard to tidy up underneath. And then I work the piece inside the mold. That's just because it gives it a nice support. You can put as much pressure on it as you need because it's actually got the plaster behind it to support it. I've also got a bunch of sponges underneath the hole as well to sort of give that extra support. From there, I add my little pillow and my little head, and today we are creating a little piggy. I am actually doing a piggy because someone suggested that I should make a pig in blanket next, playing on the whole concept of a pig in blanket. And I just thought that that was so cute and clever. Now, I was going to do Australian animals and keep on the Australian animal bandwagon, and you may be thinking that maybe it kind of looks a little like a wombat. I don't know, sometimes wombats can look a little bit piggy-like. It would be so funny to just play on that pun. I love a good pun. So here I am sculpting that little pig in blanket. To be honest, it's a little bit morbid because technically a pig in blanket, if you haven't heard of it, like is it a cross-world thing, or is it more of a UK British / Australian thing? Is that it's like a little sausage that's wrapped in puff pastry. It's not a sausage roll. It's like an actual like hot dog, and then you wrap a little bit of puff pastry around it. Whereas a sausage roll is more like a mixture that you like pipe into pastry. But I think it's quite morbid that I guess it's suggesting that the meat inside the blanket is pig. Yeah, you know, you get it. It's a bit morbid. Anyway, I just thought we'd make a cute rendition of this concept of a pig in blanket that's not being eaten. I wanted to make this pig really porky, like it had been eating everything off the plate, but unfortunately that opened up some problems of its own. Alright, I just got this one out of the bisque kiln and it's cracked right through this seam here. It's gone all the way through, but it's really tiny, but it's guaranteed to open up in the glaze firing. I've not been sure what to do with it because it's already bisque-fired, so I can't reclaim it and recycle it, and it's kind of a waste. So I'm tempted to just do a really simple cover on it, paint it up to see how it looks, and buy it anyway in hope that it won't open up more, and then just remake it if it does crack heaps. But what a bummer! I'm not sure whether I left it in the mold too long, whether it's just pulled, or whether I added too much water when I cleaned it up for the kiln firing. Not sure, but do a simple pattern and see if it works. To be honest, if this plate cracks, I have a backup plan thanks to today's video sponsor, Craftsy. I have actually really wanted to learn the art of mosaic and the materials I need, especially for the pesky pieces that have cracked and are unable to be used due to kiln issues. Craftsy is your new online resource for all things creative. With their multiple classes, projects and recipes, there is always something new and inspiring to learn. Whether that be crochet, painting, cooking or quilting, Craftsy has more than 2,000 exciting classes to take and learn a new skill. You can learn how to make pottery through their Introduction to Pottery class by Sarah Wolf, or maybe you have just started a veggie patch and need some extra help in Doug Green's vegetable gardening class. Learn anywhere and watch on your own time with classes that are broken down into short, easy to follow lessons. I learned about how to recycle ceramics into a mosaic pot. I wanted to learn what materials I needed to reuse the pieces of pottery to either fill a gap in my plate where it has cracked, or to smash the entire thing and recycle it into a pot. I'm just future-proofing in case it does crack. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the video description will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49 for new members only. Thank you again to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get this piece finished and see whether I need to implement the new skills I've learned from Craftsy. So I've decided to go in with a really simple gingham color for this plate. I'm just gonna do one big checker print. I really wanted to do the quilt style again and have motifs that sort of represent or relate to the pig character. If I spent all that time on it and it ends up cracking, I just think I would be really devastated. So instead I'm going in with this really bold, beautiful gingham checker print pattern on the doona, and in the process of trying to get a good shot, I accidentally dipped my sleeve into the blue, which is just so silly. My hand often gets in the way of my shots, and I was being so careful that I didn't even realize that my sleeve was going into the paint. I just want to give a bit of a shout out to the gingham pattern. It is such a beautiful and effective way to add color and pattern onto pottery, and it always looks amazing. Whether you do thick stripes or thin stripes or different size stripes, it always looks really effective against each other. It's also a really beginner friendly and easy way to add color to a piece. I particularly like it when you have one coat of underglaze and you can kind of see all the brush strokes and overlapping of where you've added the coats and coverage. I just think it gives it a really nice handmade touch, and I really love when people create gingham pieces in my Paint Your Own Pottery studio because they all look so different but so the same, and they just have something so special about them. That's why I decided to go in with this, because I knew it would be a simple, effective way to get a good doona cover on this piece in case it doesn't crack, but I also won't be devastated if it does crack that I haven't spent so much time tediously painting lots of little quilt patches. For the pig itself, I did a cute little pink pig, of course, and I actually tossed up about the pillowcase, and I actually ended up doing it orange, not blue, but I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. After that, I popped it into the kiln again for another bisque firing. I first bisqued it so I didn't damage the rim of the plate because it's so fragile, so I bisqued it so it was a bit stronger so I could paint on it, and then once I'd underglazed it, I bisqued it one more time, which is when I uncovered even more cracks. The thing about these cracks is that they are fine and you can see them. They haven't opened up totally, but I know as soon as this goes up to a higher temperature in the glaze firing, these are going to open right up. It takes up a whole shelf when I fire a plate, so it's really daunting to fire something when I know it's going to crack, but I'm doing it to show you what happens so you guys can stop nagging me when I don't fire something when it's cracked, because they will open up. And gosh, it was a shock when I opened the kiln. These cracks had opened up so much that when I popped my foam torch behind it, you could literally see through right to the middle, some places where you didn't even see the crack was. It was so gaping and so big, but I'm so glad I fired it to see what the finished results were going to look like. I love how bold the edge rim is, and I also love the wobbly, painterly like gingham stripes of the doona. It just feels like a handmade quilt still the same. I love the porky belly poking up, but I do think that the weight of the porky belly is what caused it to crack and contract in the kiln. I decided to make another one, and I think the issue is this big porky belly. It happened again. In a totally different spot, we've got cracks under this bed part, which I thought I dug out. I don't know, I'm just maybe just dropping the ball a little bit in my clay making practice, I feel. But I think in the end, I probably should have just dug out underneath it so that it wasn't so solid. But I think it's still gonna be okay. Famous last words. I am going to paint it much the same as the first one. I will just give a little bit of a sneak peek, is that I have started my next animal, but I've decided not to do the frilly plate because the frilly plate is so cute, but all these little crevices are just such a stress point and a pressure that the shape of the plate is trying to hold up, whilst also trying to hold this big heavy weighty guy on there. So I've changed to just a basic straight edge circular plate just to try and prevent those issues in the future. But let's paint this guy up and see if it's gonna work. At this point, I don't know why I'm putting myself through this pain. I think I'm just really determined to make it work, and often in my videos when something hasn't worked, I haven't been as prompt to just go back in again and try it again. And to be honest, these plates are just so perfectly sweet that I'm just determined to make it happen. This time we're going in with some bigger, thicker stripes, and at one point I was doing thin ones and I went totally crooked, so those ones ended up being thick too. That's the fun of gingham. You can just make it what you want it to be even when they're crooked. So I just added these really big bold stripes to just smash it out, really primarily because I just know that this one's going to crack too. Maybe I'm manifesting this cracking for some foreshadowing that this one also very much let me down. I think it's got totally to do with the frilly edge and the big weight of the pig in the center.
Alright guys, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen with me and this pig. Just got it out and it's cracked in here this time and in here this time, and they're both in spots that are the edge of the plate. And to be honest, I don't know whether it's because I double bisted it, but would it have come out in the glaze firing anyway? Probably. It's just a bit of a shame. That one goes right through to the middle. I wonder whether it's just the belly's too heavy. I don't know, but I'm not going to glaze fire this one. We already know how that ends up. We already know what that looks like, and it's just going to be the same plate. I really don't want two broken pigs. So yeah, that's it, I guess. We're just going to call it. All right, let's smash it. Let's smash it on the floor here. I throw it there, you'll see it. You guys ready?
Rest in peace, little piggy. That was the best smashing sound I have ever heard in my life. I've listened to it so many times. Anyway, thank you for watching another animal plate video, and thank you for watching another one of my videos. I have got another animal plate on the way, and I'm looking forward to making some more and some other pottery creations. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I'll see you then.